Yo, what up? I haven't done one of these in a long time, but really felt like I wanted to get on today. So, what's up, yo? It's good to be on. Actually, always come up with these reasons why I shouldn't get on, but there's no reason. There's no reason. Hope everybody's good. Oh, what's going on here? Yeah. Hope everybody's good. Today is the 10th of October. And I just had my birthday on October 5th. We had a little get together out here at the house. It was really nice. It was really cool. So happy everybody who came and everybody who couldn't come. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, and it was fun, and it was cool, even though, like, I can't believe I'm 40. 40 is an interesting number, but, same stuff. But that was cool. We had karaoke, and people just got a whole bunch of liquor now. Like, people telling me something, yo, like, really loves liquor. I do, kind of, but I've been holding back, so hopefully that stuff will just last a long time, yo. Hopefully I've been drinking a lot less recently. What's up? Yeah, 40th birthday, and what else? Lots of stuff, actually. This week we're gonna start SMC again, season 2. Looking forward to that. That's Saturday morning cartoons. That's gonna start again on the 15th. Sheba and I are gonna have some fun with that. That was fun back when we did it, yo. And this time we're gonna have a little bit more like order. We have a sense of what we're doing. We're gonna learn from the first season. We're gonna have topics. It's gonna be kind of controlled chaos, yo. Because I think we actually operate the best when we just kind of do our thing, unplanned. But a little bit of a focus could help everything, and could be more fun on the viewer end too. So we'll try some stuff. As you know, we're gonna try some stuff. We're gonna bring back that wheel from season 1. That was fun, and some of the stuff around that. But it'll be more focused. So it'll be cool. What else? I got the hat on. Breadlums. Breadlums is moving along, yo. If you follow on Instagram, you can see some of the stuff we've been doing with Breadlums. There's breadlums.com is up right now. And on my website, billybutton.com, I have a page for Breadlums. And at the top, there's a little intro to Breadlums and some of the stuff going on with it. And you can go to breadlums.com to learn even more. But Breadlums is moving. The team at Second Rodeo Productions is we're crushing it, and having a great time. And we're gonna have something to show y'all soon, in terms of sort of taking it to the next steps with this. But we've been moving for like a year and a half now, or 2 years, something like that. It feels like it really kind of coincided with other crazy moves that happened in 2020, and I think it'll come together. 2023 is when that'll come together, so I'm really excited about that. What else? Been trying to stay safe and have fun and chill. Sheba's been doing really well. It's been chill. We've been kicking it. We've been up in here, dealing with stuff with the house, like real basic stuff, but also just living and being married. It's been cool. So there's that. I wanted to get on because there's so much going on. I want to just talk, man. Let's catch up. I see one viewer's on. I don't know who that person is, but if they want to use the chat, feel free to. Other than that, I was gonna do shoot, I wanted to talk about creativity, real talk today, and let that go wherever that goes. And while doing that, I figured I could actually create something in Blender. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Move this over here. Nope. I always do that. I always do that. All right. I need my that noisemaker thing, yo. 1 second. Let me open that up. The soundboard. Hold up.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
There we go. All right. So we got that going. We got Blender up. Let me switch to the other joint. So, yeah, I was gonna do this like a scene. I was gonna do some stuff in 3D, and then Sheba suggested, she was like, why don't you do like a self portrait? I haven't done one of those in forever. I tried one like 8 years ago when I was way less good at Blender, and I have some of those might be up somewhere on Facebook too. But that struck me. It was like, yes, actually, that's a good idea. And I usually kind of shy away from that, but why not? So let me pull this down, and let's see if I can. I'm gonna, I guess, look at my, no, I need a picture. I'm gonna use one of my favorite pics. This was from back in the day. Let's see here. Throw my profile pics. There we go. This joint right here. This pic right here got me looking good, you know? Look at that young man right there. This is pre-beard, obviously, now. I'm actually post-beard again, yo. I'm back, you know? But, yeah, I'm going to try to work with this right here. That bone structure. Jesus. I'm going to work with that pic and, and see what I can do here. Boom, boom. Okay, so yeah, creativity, yo. Let's see. So I'm gonna just use this as a head. Come down, make this a neck. There's lots of ways to do this, but this is my way. This is just my little way. Okay, I'm going to looking at that straight on. What am I trying to do here? Let me save this first off. Save it on the desktop. Self portrait. That's what we're saving it as. Alright. I'm going to sculpt mode. I want to turn on this guy. Boom, Dino Topo. Alright. Need to add some geometry to this so that I can sculpt with it. Okay, we're cooking. Okay. We doing here? All right. In fact, you know what? Let me take that pic and put it in the program so I can see it. Yeah. It's a great idea. Boom, boom, boom. Do, 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 do. Okay. Boom. Save that to the desktop. Boom. Image as planes. The name of that was 7 something something. There it is. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Might help to rotate our guy a little bit so he's kind of straight. Okay. Cool. With Dino Topo, and we're back. Why isn't this moving? We're not on it, that's why. So yeah, I also wanted to talk, like I said, creativity. This morning on Facebook, it was really... Oh, by the way, this photo was taken by Drew Zeron. Did I say that? If I haven't said that, I should say that. Straight away, dope photographer out here in the DC, Maryland area, but he's all over the place. He's taking dope shots and he's worked with so many different people. But yeah, this was back one day we were hanging out with Melanie Fiona doing a radio thing, and she edited her out for my profile pic. But yeah, that's Drew Zeron. And with the photographers, you wanna make sure you properly credit the artist, you know. I should start this all over. I'm gonna start with a new cube. E S bang bang. Okay. Dino Topo again, and we're going mirror. There we go. All right. Okay, adding geometry. Adding, like, what I mean by that is that, you know, these little faces and edges that can be manipulated. All right. Okay. Hit this. I'm gonna make it bigger, like that, and sculpt this up. cut out from here. Let's see. Let's pull that down. Yeah, creativity, huh? I think it's dope that I'm at a place in my life where a lot of, being identified as a creative. I appreciate that. Wasn't always the case, but it's just like, it's just a label. It's just a set of assumptions, like a set of actions that people associate with creativity, that people generally associate with creativity. I think creativity is bigger than like a set of actions. We can't identify certain things and say, okay, this is creative, but it's always going to be a limited set as you start to list things, because I want to say that creativity is a big, like, fundamental thing, and it just is, and it exists, and it's a feature of this existence. And I think every moment is a new moment, a new challenge. There's stuff happening, and then things are responding to the first stuff, and another thing is happening after that. And so, each of these things is creative, and we can separate it out, in different ways, but it's all creative. We can separate it by time, like, oh, that happened yesterday, and that was creative, and this is another one happened today. You can separate it by, like, all kinds of stuff, but but life is about action and reaction. It's exchanges of energy, and I say sometimes it's a dance. What I mean by that is it's a dance. There's always something. A dance is moving constantly, and that's key to know and get, because I think it's possible to lose connection with that truth. So you have no choice but to be creatively moving, always. It's just what it is. It's just, I think what happens, you either have choices in your ability to, like, consciously engage in that, or to not consciously engage in it, to be operating in an unconscious way, which we all are doing all the time. You can't help it. It's just like skin cells are dying and regrowing, your hair is growing all over your body. You aren't doing that. And if you're looking at something, you've got all these like cones and rods in your eye that are operating and doing shit together. And you aren't doing that. You just aren't. Like, not consciously, but you are doing it. It's happening. And and if you really kind of map yourself based on your eating, you'll have different stuff that happens based on the inputs. If you could really devote yourself to understanding what's happening, your body is unconsciously performing a set of very complex tasks all the time, and keeping you safe, keeping us safe, blah blah blah, and all this. And like, even the stuff you don't do consciously, like, it's responding to the environment. So your hair will grow at different rates based on the environment, based on whatever you're intaking, based on your stress, based on all kinds of stuff. Same with your vision can be impaired and shit from different stuff, you know. It's really fascinating stuff, if you ask me. Find it crazy interesting. Think about how complex every fucking thing is. And so creativity stems from, I think, a capacity to engage with the world, engage with what is real, engage with what is true, as difficult as it is to like define these things. Because a definition is still, it's we use definitions to bring things into the conscious, but things are still operating whether they are conscious about them or not. That's something to remember. It's a little humbling. And so I just try to I think there's benefit in bringing things to conscious so that I can better roll with it. I can be creatively in tune with with the experience, with what is real. It's looking weird. It's looking weird. We're gonna get it together though. Alright. So I have the mirror thing on, so it goes, everything happens on both sides equally right now for perfect symmetry. Trying to get the, so now I'm just placing where cheeks are. So this morning on Facebook, one of my good friends from college, from Stony Brook, shout out to Stony Brook, Stony Brook. A lot of Caribbean people went to Stony Brook. A lot of Caribbean people from this city, inner city, and from Long Island, and it was a good time at the Brook. But this morning, my guy Max Pillay, he posted this thing. He said, "Dear Monday, thanks for having the word mon or mun in you. Mon, that's French for mine. In case you weren't aware, Monday, but it makes me think of you more as my day. And frankly, that sounds like a much more promising start to the week." And I had to love that joint. I loved it and I shared it because I think it embodies, what we talking about. I think that's a creative approach to living, We have this thing called the weeks, and we have this thing called Monday as the start of the week, and we have to come back to work, And typically we talk about Monday as in the doldrums, and it's this thing you gotta do. We hate Mondays. I get it. But also, I like how it's you get to create the story. You create the story. It's not, I don't have to recreate the narrative of dragging Mondays. I can create a narrative that approaches it, that puts me in the driver's seat. I think that does that, and I love it. It says Monday, my day, and it sounds like a much more promising. And just to be able to control your narrative, which has everything to do to control your mood, control your approach, to what might be a set of difficult tasks, but yet can't be avoided on some level, at At least not in the necessarily. Everybody's in a different situation, but I remember this from growing up from like playing football. That's how I had to approach some of those things we had to do, man, in terms of getting up real early and running, and some of that stuff sucked. And some of it in the early morning, and then get classes, and then we had practice after, and you had to have energy. You can't, football, I guess no sport is entirely like that. I talk shit about baseball sometimes, like you can kind of coast, but you can't play football unless, like, and you're playing and you're out there. You have to have energy to be hit and play defense and to get aggressive, and you have to find that energy. And thankfully, I mean, if you love football, it's not too hard to find it most days. But every football player who's honest will say that you have those days. It's like, oh, shit, how am I gonna get through practice today? And I think the best method is to like creatively develop a narrative about what the next few hours are gonna look like. If it takes football, I guess practice was like what, 3 hours or 4 hours. It's like, we're gonna go through 4 hours, and some of it we know we're gonna do these things. It's gonna be stretching. You have this sort of predictable stuff, and then the rest of it is not gonna be predictable. And so how do you, it's like, okay, come up with an approach. And I like that. And it always brings me back to the present, I feel like. And it's creative. And there was a time when that kind of stuff, like a focus on words and positivity like that, spinning things, would have felt silly to me. I would have been like, well, that has no real bearing on what Monday is like. Okay, so you have this little mind trick you're doing, but that doesn't mean anything in a substantive way. And I think that's wrong. I think I was wrong at the time to believe that. Wrong in a sense, at least. I don't think you can happy place yourself out of every situation, but you can certainly adjust your approach through a different lens. I mean, that's absolutely true. I think it might have been harder to like explain that several years ago, but I think we've had so much discourse now about this. Can I shout to like some of the new media out here, some of the new like Netflix and Paramount, some of the shows. Shout to Sheep and I just watched Sandman. What's the other joint? Severance. Even like WandaVision. Shout to these shows that are very creatively and beautifully, and in a nutty way, like dealing with psychology and the difficulties of the like the dark side of the persona, and how we separate. I have a whole video about separation and Kendrick Lamar. I highly suggest checking that out. But also these shows are, I mean, that one is me trying, like, it's these shows are creative as fuck. And Sandman was weird and dark, but it dealt with some interesting stuff, yo. I mean, these are not, it dealt with human phenomena, but like, how do you represent it? So they represented it in these eerie spiritual figures. I thought that was cool. But yeah, the capacity to take something like Monday and flip it and have a fun disposition from a mundane thing, like the name of a week, you know. And you know, maybe can you flip it and get one for Tuesday too, and for Wednesday and Thursday while we're at it, you know. And then Friday we already kind of generally love. Saturday and Sunday we love. So why? Because it's here. Because this is it, you know. So creativity is like, there's a love element to it. It is an acceptance of what you have, you know. It's like right now I'm out here on this computer that I bought several years ago now, maybe 6 years ago. It was super top of the line at the time. It's still very good, but you know, you gotta like operate with it. Like you could sit. I remember when I had a much shittier computer, and I had to operate with that, and to creatively operate with that. And it was gonna, you better save every couple of every couple of 2 minutes or whatever. There were certain levels of complexity in the molding. I had to be careful not to get too wild. So there were limitations, but to creatively operate in it anyway, so that you could, so that you can manifest something anyway, so that you can get the practice anyway, so that you can engage with the reality anyway. That's creative. And how you get to work, how you drive, where you know, do you take the left lane, or you hang left or go around the other way? It's all creative. So I get excited by this because I think creative is just a word. There's so many words that we have in our language that we don't take seriously. We don't properly really try to define in any meaningful way. We just kind of use them and take them for granted. And I think that's to our detriment in a lot of ways, including what I'm describing here, which is there's a realm of existence that is creative. And I think once you can kind of like really associate yourself with the creative, things like other challenges break down, you know. So like you don't have to assume that things are as they are. You realize you can start to test. And you know, I remember like early on, I used to take the train and the bus to school, to like middle school, and my mom taught me this one route, you know. And you take that one route, you know, I don't remember what it is, but it ended at Stillwell Avenue train station, D train. And but before that, I had other trains to take. You know, once you get comfortable, you get creative. You start to like come out with other routes. You realize you could. This one's a little faster. You could take the express. You know, either mom didn't know about it, or maybe she had her reasons. There was something she preferred about this, or it was just simpler. She wanted you to have one route. You know, I remember that so much actually growing up. Mom used to, every time there was like a new school, whatever, like the early on, she would we would go and like investigate ways to get to the school, and she would take me. We would go and get on the subway together. That was cool. That's a cool memory. Yeah. So creativity, man. I think there's a level of engagement too that is required of creativity, because you can't, it's not sufficient to not engage. You know, you can't get creative results, or I guess you can creatively ignore something. You can creatively not engage with it. You can come up with creative ways to not do that. Let me think more about that. boy, having a little trouble here. Hmm. I think as I was saying before, I think we are engaging. I think the engagements happen no matter what. You know, the world is always changing. There's always something decaying, something um, evolving. There's always birth. There's always death. There's always new potentials. You know, and so the truth is that these engagements are occurring on us. Those things are happening to us, with us, on us. We are part of that, and there's something about taking, instead of being swept up by it or in it, you know, being active, being an active agent in that. I want to give that something. I think this creativity has to be conscious. Can people be unconscious? No, of course not. You can be unconsciously creative. Something can kick in, some instincts, you know, and you deal with something. Interesting questions. Interesting. Yeah, I guess I think you can be unconsciously creative, but one of my biases is to be consciously creative. Feels like it feels like what is it? X-Men, you know, unconscious creativity can be out of control, you know, and he's like Professor Xavier is helping them have access their, you know, conscious creativity, access their creativity consciously and with intention. I like that. Feels about right. It feels right too, because it reminds me of a author who I still appreciate. He's passed by now. Howard Zinn, and I don't know if it was him, if this is his phrase, but you can't be neutral on a moving train. Again, feels like that. Feels like the world is the moving train. It's doing its thing. It's doing its thing. Yeah. Okay. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay. Hmm. This camera is 50. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah. All right. For a second there, I was feeling like we were losing it and it wasn't coming together, but I think we're starting to get back. Starting to get back there, y'all. Sheba Bebo. All right. All right. All right. Whoa. Okay. So I've got a little bit of a upper thing like this. Let's see. This goes in G. Paw, 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 paw. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Let's see here. Next steps. Let's save this bad boy. Put those eyeballs in there. I'm gonna do a mirror. Nope. Okay. Sculpt. Ooh, yeah. Interesting. Okay. Eight. Yeah, so for me, I think the whole process of everything, getting to where I am now, getting to where I'm gonna be next, you know, everything has just been a creative process, and I think the same is true for you, whatever your story is. There are all kinds of choices you made and things you did in a context. So there was stuff, and guess what? The context actually was the creative juice, you know? And that's what's interesting. Like when I first started doing animation, every time I learned how to do something, I was trying to put it in my animation immediately. I was trying to do it in the next animation. So I learned how to kind of make things do a float wiggle kind of deal. And so even if I didn't need it, even if the project didn't need it, if the client didn't ask for it, I was like, yeah, okay. People are paying me to do this thing? Okay, great. I'm going to give you the best thing that I know how to do, kind of, which was, I was always trying to learn some new shit. So that was my orientation at first. And I thought that made sense, And it wasn't until having some cool conversations with other creatives who had, like, more experience. And Caps would say, I'm thinking of Fabian Tejada right now. He'd be like, consider narrowing it down. So you know how to do 2D, you know how to do 3D. Wow, you know how to do editing. Okay, great. So you're trying to squeeze all three of those things into one thing, 2D images and 3D images. He's like, why don't you live in 3D? Or why don't you live in 2D? Or why don't you live in this color spectrum? I didn't have color theory or stuff like this either in my tool belt. So, it's like, then you can get creative in that thing. And that's a powerful thing, to learn how to be, to learn how to, like, give yourself confines and then operate within that. That's really something, and super important, because there's always confines, and no matter how you try to slice it or remove, we can remove as many confines as we can. We can look at the bad confines. There will be some really pernicious confines, and we want to improve that condition, and then there will be something else, and there will need to be that, so that we can compare ourselves against it. And I don't know, I hope I'm explaining that one well. But the key for me too is to find how to have more control of those confines, to me, that to measure that as success too, rather than the typical ways we measure success is to say, man, I have more control over my confines. I've chosen, let's say we're in art, I've chosen this color palette, I've chosen this medium, I've chosen this time frame, I've chosen, all of these aspects of it, rather than to be kind of subject to the whims and the dictates of the external shit. You know what I'm saying? That's because that, and in either case, you're gonna have to be creative. The pressure of it, but one person has a massive advantage, obviously, if they can, right on time, Shapes. Period. They get to creatively do their thing for them, in their way. Nope, wrong way. So I'm excited actually for SMC, because it's gonna be solid. It's gonna be so good. Oh my goodness, Sheba. we got some good stuff. Yeah. It's gonna be awesome. Baby's back. She's back. Ribs. Oh my God. Sheba, Sheba. Holy mackerel. Gee. Holy shit. I don't know, guys. I don't know where we are, if it's looking like me yet, but we're gonna keep going. I think if we can nail these eyes down, frankly, I think we could be onto something. Get in that crevice. Okay. Do this more often, man. I really do like this stuff. Okay. Aroma. Let's see. Do 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 do. Alright, so now I'm gonna do ears. Okay, Rama, same deal. Alright, so ears are weird. I gotta Google an ear. Okay, let's see here. Alright, so let's carve this out. So actually, let me get the shape down actually. G. Yeah, so I mean, look, back to like creativity again, and the fact that everything's one thing, and that, you know, everything's about exchanges, and it's one ever moving system and organism. I think creativity is like a synonym for love, you know? It's a synonym for truth. It's a synonym, it's like it's all one thing. I think I think that an uncreative approach to another person is to look at them and think that you know everything already. That's like an uncreative approach to life. You know everything that there is that needs to be known. You can do this to people. You can do this to other things. You can do this to concepts. And you can simply demand and expect something. If it's dating, you can expect your girlfriend to act a certain way. If it's art, if it's this, I can expect this to be done already. Like this, it's been an hour already. I could be like, why isn't this done already? And other things, you have an idea or an experience in your head, and something's going on, and you expect your friends to know and to respond, or to do the thing that you need them to do, without engaging, without being creative, without love, I think, without creativity. I think there's something about creativity that is about engaging in the now, in the present, with what is, period, and privileging what is over what ought to be. Not to say that you privilege it as though it's like a precedent and now it needs to be that way forever. It is to say, engaging with what is the key to whatever you want next. So if it's imperfect, if the art isn't complete yet, if the friend doesn't understand your feelings, if your significant other, blah blah blah, it's like you gotta engage, you gotta get creative. Words, it's actually a cheat that we're taught these words. We already have these things that other generations of people have orchestrated into language and alphabet, and we get to engage on that plane. But what if we didn't have that? What if we were robbed of our capacity for language? That would suck. Or the typical way we think of language. But we would have to creatively come up with new language. We'd have to, whether it's vocal language or visible cues or symbols on a wall. It's all creative. How do you get from point A to point B when there's an obstacle in the middle? You have to creatively engage with that obstacle. You can't pretend it's not there. That won't do it. And the challenge is that this experience is so complex that you can kind of get away with disengaging, with certain things. You can creatively be uninvolved with reality and get away with it to a degree, to an extent. I believe stuff comes back around. I believe stuff lingers, and it's worthwhile to address stuff, but it's also possible to preoccupy yourself with something and never with something else, and tell a story that isn't an engagement. So I think that's nutty. I think that's nutty. Alright, this air is coming together. Hmm. Wow. That's real. Coming hot. Hello. Okay, that's what we wanted. There we are. Old chap. Alright, spending a bit too much time on this air. Be honest. Not a big fan of how it turned out. Let's see here. Let's pull that in. Let's pull this here. Bang, bang, bang. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And so that's how it's connected to love, frankly, because you can't if you truly like being creative with something, I think you're engaging with it. You're dealing with it. And you're learning how to deal with it. Deal with what is. I think we've lost so much ground on that. That's cool, because we have ever present an opportunity to reclaim our attachment to what is. See, I kind of have smaller ears, frankly, which sucks because a lot of those headphones and stuff, they don't fit. The buds, I mean. Mirror X. Man, I look weird. Man, gonna have to work on this, huh? Let's see. Oh, something happened with the eyes. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's get these in there. Maybe a little bit back in there. Wow. Okay, as of right now, this looks kind of nothing like me. I'm hoping. Jesus. I'm gonna have to work on this guy. Or not. I don't know. We'll see. Right now we are at 126. Man. put like another 10 minutes in. See if there's anything else I want to say about creativity. I think there is a creativity that is, as I said, I'm trying to expand the definition of creativity, so we're not just talking about painting or the arts or dancing or anything like that. We're talking. I look terrible. What happened here? Yikes. Let's see. Like, weirdo, man. Not great. Not great. I think that there's a creativity that, you know what I'm saying, like, we consciously can engage with, choosing a direction, like going towards something consciously, you know what I'm saying, with our brains, with logic, thinking towards stuff. But then there's a creativity, there's an engagement with realities, there's an engagement that isn't conscious. I think it has to do, we call it an intuition. Oh snap. Hey Z, what's up, bro? This will take, I don't know when you wrote that, Z, but this will take for an animation it'll take a while, but for an image it should take just, let's see, let's test it out. Whoop, whoop, there it is, real quick. So there's so few things going on, no materials, no textures. As we add that, it'll take longer. But there's the conscious, logical creativity that comes from a cerebral choice, and then there's the intuition. And I think the intuition is one that's harder to access, but one of the best ways to access it is through understanding that everything is always changing all the time. Everything's always creatively, you're more a verb. This experience is more a verb than a noun. Things are, like, again, the cones and the rods in your eye are doing its job without your conscious intention. Your heart is pumping without your conscious intention. The lungs are pumping and doing what it's doing. I can keep going. We can keep picking all these different body parts and blah blah blah. And the same is true in externally. The trees, your people are gonna call and text, and the emails will come, and this is all. And so there's an intuition that kind of lets go. That from that letting go comes a creativity, and I think in sports people talk about the zone, and it's talked about in different ways, and writers talk about it, but it is a letting go with what is, using the medium. So if I'm a writer, I'm typing, using the digital thing, I'm just not attached consciously. Like if I start and I go, I'm going to make, like, that's probably where I am right now. I'm at a place where I look at this and I go, this looks nothing like me, or it needs work, right? I can either continue to really go for that and say, I'm gonna continue my original plan, or I can completely creatively engage with whatever it is. So what if I have a limitation? What if I'm not that great yet with sculpting, and I might never get there? I might get angry and abandon the whole project when there's other opportunities, there's other creative ways to approach this. Maybe it's not me anymore. Maybe it goes into something else. You know what I'm saying? What if instead of trying to make it really photorealistic, and that's the challenge. That's what I'm doing wrong. What if I just make it something completely else, like this thing now, and you know what I mean? That's what I want to get to. I think I like to kind of consciously choose the direction I'm aiming at, and then from there, it's a weird thing how you have this ability to navigate and focus it or to let it go and let it be what it is and be free from it and remove the tension, you know. I just dropped a rap song, two songs I'm rapping that I fuck with, and I'm really proud of both of them, but especially the last one. You know, the last one kind of happened crazily, from picking the song to writing it to putting it in this, you know, on the timeline and working on the ad libs and all that. All that was done in like 48 hours, less than that. And it was a crazy experience of letting go and not worrying about it. You know, a lot of it is like, oh, this is blah blah, but the words came and it just kind of connected, and I played with my voice a little bit, and I'm not a musician. I am not a producer, not a like rapper or whatever, but what does that mean? Not this or that. What are these labels? Who cares? Who's gonna certify me in any of these things? You know what I mean? Like, I dealt with the programs that I have, which are limited. They're not like, you know, and dealt with the skills you have, and you kind of make it work. And where you end up at is just an observation for self, and it's if you want to judge it, it's like how much do you love this thing? It's a test. Like, do you love it to get to the next level on it, to keep improving, to notice the nuances that could be improved in your view, to see the progress, to go from the first one to the second one and see how much better, and see how much better you can get in the third, and see if you can change it up and try a whole different style, and you know, it's all that. And so, you know, if you don't, I think there's a way you can go about life without really appreciating that crazy thing that's happening there when you let go and you become like you become like this thing. You let go of the logical, you know, thought centers and operate from a different place, you know. I think it's a way of opening up to be inspired and allowing something else to take it. And there's mad creativity in that, and there's mad just, again, I think it's synonymous with love. I love these questions, man. I love talking about this stuff. Thankfully, I'm married to a fine ass, really smart ass, badass lady who will bounce these things off with me, and we have some cool discussions about shit like this. But anyway, here's where I'm at with this, man. This is after an hour and a half we got to hear. I think maybe I will try to follow up in another part a week from now. I keep saying, yo, every month, every week I say, or every time I do this, like, all right, I'm gonna do this over and over every week. So I'm not gonna make that promise today, but I do know that I'm trying to like do this more often because it's cool. I do appreciate it. It's just like in the build up before it, I feel like I come up with all these reasons why it would be a waste of time or I shouldn't or something. I gotta get over that. But in the meantime, SMC Live starts on fucking October 15th, this Saturday. Sheba and Billy back at it. Zanier, funnier, fucking smarter, cooler. You should check it out. It'll be on YouTube on this channel. Season 2. Alright? Thanks, everybody. Let me get out of here. Have a good one.